maybe a way to help them sometimes would be to do some babysitting, or I guess could help some parents to rest. And if the person knows 2 or 3 familiar persons, friends, neighbors, family, they can they can do whatever with him, play with him, go for a walk or anything. Mm.
Just to add to that too, a lot of times these children don't have other children to play with, and so it would be perfect to say, hey, I want to get together with you with my child for a play date. You could go to the playground, you could go to each other's houses, because there's a lot to learn from kids with disabilities. We call them atypical kids and typical functioning kids as well, and they both can give things to each other back and forth, and that would be great, because these kids need role models, and they also need socialization of same age pairs, and that's really important as well.
May I share some personal experience? Okay. Um, for this child who I'm looking after, his name is Krish, and like I said, he doesn't even go to his own parents. And the first thing that I felt started when he was born, and which can happen with most children who are born. He was born premature, only 26 weeks, so he was very low birth weight, and therefore he has delayed milestones and physical disabilities, and autism is one of them. The first thing his father said when he was born is, "This is a piece of bad luck," you know. So most parents who have not accepted, the first thing starts in acceptance, and there is an inner sense of all such children. They know when they are loved, they're compassionate, and they are accepted. Until today, that child does not want to be with his father. He's rather with me, but he won't be with his father, with mother also less. The second experience I had is when he started growing up, and they don't have that sensory thing. You know, he was very hard. He'll hold your hand so tight because he won't let you go, because you're not going across to talk to the child. So he wants that attention because everyone else is getting it. So he would be very hard. They don't know gentle. So I would sit with him, spend a lot of time, and I explained to him, see, when I hold your hand harder, harder, does it hurt? And he would say yes. And I said, be gentle. So it took him a long time to understand how it's being gentle. He would be harder and then slowly soften, 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 soften. So you need a lot of patience and you need a lot of love, and they want you to spend time with them, again, which is the key. And then when he was started to go to school, and the parent would go because I'm not the parent, but one day he had a talent contest, you know, and all of them had this fancy dress competition. And he said that he told his teachers, I want my this one. He requested that I should also go, and the school said, all right, some friends and families can also come. So I went there, and when I went, I was so shocked that although he started talking, the teachers never heard his voice. And I said to them, and I told his mother, I said, don't you ever tell the teachers that he can even speak? And he's blabbering now in the house. She says, no. And he would sit like this with his head down. And I went right up out of my way to the teachers and I said, look, Krish can talk. Really? I said, yes. And I spoke to them, not with the school environment, and we realized that the mother was making him petrified, not out of fear factor, but because he would throw tantrums. And she would say, you know, I'll tell your miss. And she would show him photographs of the behavior therapist. And she would say, he's petrified of the behavior therapist. And I said, you're actually instilling fear. You have to make him feel more secure. And you're doing the other extreme. And so he's bashing her up because he's scared. And then you're scaring him more. It's like going and seeing a horror film. So I went up to the behavior therapist and I talked to Hori Miss and I said, you know, this is what it is. And she said, you know, I agree with you. Secondly, the father said, let's talk to the neurologist and start giving him medication. He was just taking Ritalin and they wanted to increase the dose, and that gave him withdrawal symptoms because that's what they did. Stimulants do that, just like nicotine. If you stop it, it'll give you withdrawal symptoms. So this is what happened. And then I told the behavior therapist, I said, let's start with one thing. As my counseling expertise in the field of nutrition, why don't we tell him that you're now his best friend? So we did that, and we got this hula hoop for him because he was not able to wear his trousers. And I was asking the OT person, since I went to school, I took advantage. And she said, give them a hula hoop so when they put the ring up, and then he'll learn to wear his trousers in play. And I thought that's great. So I went across the street from the school, got the hula hoop, and told the behavior therapist who he was petrified with, give him a gift. And she said, and I told her, please, can you tell him that in the whole school you were the best and you are the best friend. That day, the minute we gave him that, and she befriended him till today, I think he has a crush on her, but he is totally enamored, in love with her. He's not scared of her anymore. So that makes this difference. Like, as you are asking a question, I'm just sharing my experience, not as a therapist, but the upbringing of the child. Then they started saying that he can't do calculators because he can't write. So I said that let him learn computers, and he was not able to do math. I have defined the school, and he can type addition, subtraction on a calculator with a normal digital, not those large, red or those big digital. We don't get them in this country, and to get them specially made, and if they spoil it, it's very expensive. They can't afford it, seriously not. So he's doing a regular calculator, which you and I use, the Casio, and he types an addition, subtraction. He's very good at math. And then we started, now he's typing sentences on the computer. So when she talks about the facilitator and they're writing the experiences, I can identify with them because he's actually doing the same. So just give them LOVE, a lot of love and lot of time. These two things are the key, and make them feel wanted. The moment you make them feel rejected or you can't do something, they will get back at you. You cannot take a negative, encourage them for everything. That's what I do. Even if he can't speak a word clearly, I say, wow, you're saying it so well. Come on, let's do it again. Instead of saying, no, 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 you're not doing it right. That intimidates the child. And if you say, wow, let's do it once more. Okay, now let's tell her how well you can say it. So he repeats it, and slowly they get better and better. That's the way I work at it. It's played by ear. Like every mother decides what's best for her child, and each sibling is differently handled. This is the same situation which I have done. Another thing which I want to share with you is because he was facing rejection, no other children wanted to play with him, like I said, because of the fear of being hurt. He's very good looking. So I took him for modeling because I felt that, if he goes into one or two print ads and stuff like that, other children will say, oh, he's a star, and so they'll run to him. And that will make him feel good. And trust me, he did 2, 3 ads and the world changed. Not only that, because of I used to go with him, I started getting advertisements, I did movies. I've done so many ad films and serials because of this child. So what you try to say is they're actually an asset and not a liability. Okay?
Anyone else? Okay, so we can end our session now. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all of you.